Welcome back to DJFM, the greatest shit show on the internet. This is episode 31, and this is High Thoughts with Jay in the news. That's kind of what we're going with. All right, now that shit's done. Okay, thank God. All right, why do people... what's been bothering me? What's been on my mind? Some weird shit. I feel like the last couple days I've been in the gym, there's just been some random people, especially this week. I saw this guy who's doing, lip syncing to whatever the fuck music he was listening to. But he's dancing around like he was owning the place, like he was king shit. I'm like, that's an interesting take on this. It's wild that you had the confidence to prance around and rap like you're the biggest man in the party. I watch this man dance and then look in the mirror, get really intense, and just start rapping. Like he's in the middle of a rap battle. Or he's having a stare down with whatever man's in the mirror, trying to fight his demons away. Like, this is the only thing that's going to save him. But this guy was, rapping 21 Savage and looked like he was from the suburbs. This tall, skinny white guy. Not a problem in the world, but to each their own. I think everybody has some kind of way they like to live their life, but don't be rapping and singing and dancing in the middle of the gym. That's all I'm saying. We don't have to I don't have to watch you try to remember the lyrics as they're fed to your ears and act like you're the big... I just dance around. I think anything else would be cool. But just go over and hang out with the old men who do Tai Chi. Just go do that. They love the company. You're doing shit. They as long as you're in the corner with them, hiding, rapping, dancing, they don't give a fuck. They're just let them do their shit. Let them do their Tai Chi. Let them make sure their form's correct. Let them harness their energy. I just don't want you to be in the way as I'm trying to put away my weights. And I have to dodge around as you're trying to do the crip walk back to your seat because, I don't know, I guess it's something you've been working on. You wanted to try it out. I think I just don't want to be trying to dodge, duck, dive, and weave, in the middle of my workout. We're all in there for a reason. I'm not in here to be doing a dance party. I guess you are. Some of us are in make-believe land. Just go hang out with the guys who are doing Tai Chi. Just go over there. I won't judge. I won't hate. Out of sight, out of mind. That's kind of what the position you should be in. You shouldn't be over in the corner with me, rapping and dancing. Honestly, though, if I'm going to be fair, that guy's got confidence. I don't have that kind of confidence. The kind of confidence that you can just go and dance around and rap like nobody's business and not give a fuck. Lip sync to the world. That's confidence. Fuck. How do I get that confidence? How do I just go and act like I'm the baddest bitch at the party? I can't do that. If I was the person who was sitting there rapping, dancing, I would try it one time. Realize it's not for me. I'm in everybody's way. Think internal thoughts 24/7 and be like, all right, I'm done. I would walk right out, cancel my membership, start a new membership at another gym, and just go there from now on. I'm like, I don't know why I did that. I'm not showing up anymore. I'll find a new place to live my life. I'm not going to live it there. Props to that's a confidence level that you don't see much anymore. Just the people are like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. That's not my problem. Just everybody around me will deal with what I'm doing. Not this guy. I'm living my best life. You fucking kind of are. You kind of are. Just don't do it in the way. Go off to the side. Go off to the corner with all those old men doing Tai Chi. They realize that they're just taking up space sometimes, but you gotta realize that too. You're basically the same. I feel like they're more of a nuisance than the guys who just do karate in the mirror. At least those guys, they'll kick your ass, and plus, because they're practicing it, and plus they're not trying to just get in the way. They know what they're doing. They understand what they're trying to accomplish. They're just here to punch a bag and work on their karate moves. This guy's just trying to practice his crip walk and make sure he's remembering every one of 21 Savage's lyrics. But props to that guy. 100% props to that guy. Kinda. Not really. Don't do it. Go away. Just leave. walk away. Walk away. Don't. Like, you can do it, but just don't do it in front of everyone. I know. The gym is supposed to be a very inclusive place where everybody feels like they belong. You don't belong. You don't belong. Go. Go to the corner. Remember the lyrics. You probably have them downloaded and saved on your phone. There's probably a little Safari page that you can look to when you're getting tongue-tied because the words are going too fast and you just can't remember all of them. So, just walk away. Go in the corner. I'll props to you for your confidence, but besides that, no. Go somewhere else. You can afford to go somewhere else. You don't have to leave the gym. Just go to the corner with the Tai Chi guys. It bothered me. I don't know why it bothers me. They're just in the way. It might be because I just stare at them when they're doing it. I just get distracted. At that point, I'm just like, you are what I'm doing for the rest of the hour that I'm here, or as long as you're here. I'm just going to watch you. I'm going to pay attention to whatever you're doing, and you're going to be my vision for the next 2.5 an hour to whenever you leave. Because I'm not leaving until you leave. You grabbed my attention, sir. I am going to see if you stumble or see if you fall and see if you can accomplish whatever the hell you're trying to do. But it's wild. It's interesting. I didn't think people had that much confidence when they go just out in public. I thought the pandemic kind of halted a lot of people. People got a little more worried about what was going on, but nope. This guy's right here just doing whatever he wants to do. Props to him. It makes me get centered a little bit. I was like, all right, I'm not totally crazy in that guy. I want to take a few notes of that guy's book. Not the dancing and rapping in the middle of the gym, but the confidence stuff. You're like, where'd you get that from? How'd you do that? What in your brain pattern that was like, no problem, I got this. I can even back it up. It doesn't matter. What are they going to do? Tell me not to do it? Well, probably right. No, I don't think anyone's going to go up to you and tell you not to do it, but you probably shouldn't. You probably shouldn't do it. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but I'm going to tell you that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just do it in the corner. I'm not going to minimize what you can do with your life. Just go in the corner. Come on. Shoot. Go in the corner. So that's been the biggest thing in my life this week, is watching this guy lip sync and crip walk around the gym. It's throwing me off. It really has. I don't know if I'll ever recover from it. I kind of hope I see him again. I kind of see if he changes up the mode, the vibe he's giving off. Not just 21 Savage mumble rap lyrics that he cannot pronounce, or has no reflection with, but maybe he goes to Taylor Swift. Maybe he relates to the biggest pop star in our world. Maybe he takes some notes from her book. Maybe that's the next one he's singing and dancing to. Singing to something crazy like, was it 24 or Love Story? I think those are the only songs I couldn't know the titles of. That's the crazy part. I think like if you're in my age group and you hear Taylor Swift, you know the Taylor Swift song. You know almost all of them, but you don't know the names, especially if you're someone like a guy or some guys know them all, dedicated down to the number. Like, props to you, man. Props to you. I remember when she was starting out, she was good. She had talent, but I stopped following her when she was doing pop. Now she's crushing it. One of the biggest pop stars in the world. Might be bigger than Michael Jackson, but hey, that's not up to me for me to decide. That's the world. And if she can do it that way, well, that's a plus. But she's in a weird group too, because it's not like she is becoming Michael Jackson at a time where, like, she doesn't have the same kind of fame Prince and them do, because it's like how the outreach was. Like, it's not so much on the internet. There was no internet. They didn't have the ability to reach out to all these people. It was, word of mouth. It was, you had to actually use your music to connect with everybody. And I would be curious if it was like, if that was the way people were still getting like all their music and stuff, would there be a different person at the top of the charts, or is it going to be the same person? Would Taylor Swift still have done all this crazy shit if social media wasn't as big of a thing and people couldn't find these clicky groups like they do now? Like the Swifties are crazy. They're diehards, crazy diehards. They live and breathe Taylor Swift. I can't imagine that. Like, that is your idol. That is the person I believe in. She's probably an amazing person, but I feel like you should have some individuality. But hey, I'm wrong. I might be wrong. It's funny that you have these very different groups, and especially in the news, like they made the news about politics too for some of these Swiftie groups. They had what? Swifties for Kamala. I can't ever say her name. I keep calling her Kamalama. Harry Balabal. I just keep butchering her name. Kamala Mulala. Kamala Mala. And Trump. Was it Swifties for Trump? Was that the other thing? No, Swifties for Kamala. Swifties Kamala Mala. Is she the only? Because it's like what? If I type in Swifties, there's no F in that. Swifties space 4. I get Swifties for Kamala, Swifties for Loop. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, so Swifties for Kamala, Swifties for Palestine, Swifties for Southport, Swifties for Eternity. There's shirts for Swifties for Kamala. Dude, how many people buy these? Just not a lot of people, right? Probably a shit ton, actually. Can someone take... Alright, hold on. I want to see this, because this is a picture I found. Yahoo. Kamala. Can I get that picture up? So that's her. I wish I had a camera. I don't have a camera up. But. So this is a picture of her at a rally for Vice President of 2024 Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris gestures as she speaks at a campaign event in Atlanta, Georgia on July 30th, 2024. And she is putting her hands up like she's raising the roof in a blue suit. Like, what the actual fuck? And then Trump, Trump at a cam. Oh, my dog's barking. I don't even know why he's barking. Well, at least the first photo that pops up is... You don't even know the good photo. You Google Trump at a campaign event. The first photo that you get is him at the assassination and him looking ragged. And then you have to go to find it in the suggested for one of them to get the one of him with the fighting pose. Very interesting. Campaign event. Good photo. Interesting. But I want to see if there's a photo that's similar to how the Kamala one was taken. A lot of presidential, like from the presidential assassination day. Oh, there's one with the Trump at a campaign event addressing crowd. That's a crazy photo, though. Of him putting his fist in the air. You're like, what the hell? You're really changing the world. That's going to go down in history. They might not let that photo go down in history, but I think they should. They just have him. It's an iconic photo now. Surviving assassination attempt. Put that in the White House. If he wins, that photo should go everywhere. That should go everywhere. But we'll see. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I thought there would be more pictures of him at a rally that I could find easily, but I guess not. I'm wrong. Totally wrong. SpaceX is in the news. Why is SpaceX in the news? 2 days ago, SpaceX blew up 2 rockets and punched massive hole in one of Earth's layers. That's awesome. They're doing God's work. It's wild. Didn't they just have a sign that they would have to go help save the astronauts that have been stuck in space? And now they have 2 rockets that have now exploded. Are they test flights? Offered a rare opportunity to study the effects of such phenomenon on the ionosphere. A study by Russia scientists revealed how the explosion temporarily blew open a hole in the ionosphere stretching from the Yucatan to the southern U.S. Okay, that's probably pretty big. Although far from the first rocket-induced disturbance in the ionosphere, this one is the first explosive events in the ionosphere to be extremely studied. November 18, 2023 wasn't a great day for the commercial space flight company SpaceX while testing its stainless steel clad Starship designed to be a company's chariot to Mars. The spacecraft exploded 4 minutes after the liftoff over the skies of Boca Chica, Texas. Filming a metal candle with more than 1,000 tons of propellant and flinging it into outer space has always run into a fair share of risks, but it's particularly event occurring around 93 miles above Earth's surface, allowing scientists to closely study out poorly understood aspect of human space flight. What damage do rockets instead? Blah, 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 blah. All right, but was it a test flight or was it an actual flight? Although bad news for SpaceX, the explosion oddly presented a rare opportunity. The ionosphere is regularly impacted. Both of these events were caused by ionosphere interactions. Luckily for us, these atmosphere holes aren't nearly as dire as the Onzon hole that rattled the world in the 1990s. Interesting. So we don't know. We really don't know. But I wonder if, because they haven't. If they can't get a function, or do they have a functioning rocket? I think that's kind of the bigger question. Does SpaceX have have a functioning rocket? SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launched for the second 22nd time on Sunday night, sending aloft 2 satellites that will provide broadband coverage in the Arctic region. Elon Musk first publicly referred to the reusable Falcon 9 as the Falcon 9R in April 2013. In September 2013, SpaceX successfully relit 3 engines on the space booster on an orbital launch, and the booster re-entered the atmosphere at hypersonic speed without burning up. Okay, so they do have rockets that they've used in the past. So that's probably what they're using. This is not a good look, though. You're like, we got 2 rockets that died and they exploded. We're supposed to go help get the astronauts back. We think we can do it? I don't know. What a New Zealand celebrity celebrates a new era as 27-year-old queen is anointed in New Zealand. Wow. Fascinating. Okay. Sorry, I'm just going through this stuff. Scientists say, well, now I'm just like looking through the news. Hopefully they can. I think they got a functioning rocket. It's just my thing was like it's not a good look when you're just had something you signed on with NASA to go rescue their astronauts that have been stuck in space that they have not been able to get back, and then you go and launch 2 rockets and they explode. I wonder what they're going to study though if that's the case. Ionosphere. How many times can we blow a hole in that thing and it recovers? That's kind of my question now. Because it said it's not the first time that they've done this. But how many times have they done this? I know they've blown holes in the atmosphere before, especially during the nuclear testing while the Cold War, I think after World War II. Especially when the nuclear shit was a big deal. But how many more attempts do we get until that thing is like, we just won't come back. That's done. I don't know. This one's weird because it seems like it can recover quickly if we give it enough time. But we don't ever give it enough time. So, but what do I fucking know? Maybe it just recovers forever. I don't think that's really the case because what thing in the world recovers that quickly forever? Not much shit. So, how many more? Like 5, 6, 7? Maybe infinity? I don't know. We'll see. Well, I guess we'll see. When they blow a hole in it like 7 more times. Then we'll find out that, it's not recovering. We're not going to, as humans, I bet you we don't even know until we push all the way to the breaking point that we actually realize, we went too far. Shouldn't have done that. Broke our shit. We'll fix it. Can't do that again. We gotta take a step back. So retirees are moving, instead of moving to Florida, ended up in the Appalachia. Isn't that where all the rednecks live? Appalachian Mountains. I have to do this because the news article's not popping up. Appalachian Mountains, retirement, community growing. Population in southern Appalachian County that has been have retirement of recreational areas alone grew 3.8% from April 2020 to 2022, higher than the national average. Areas are ditching Florida for Appalachia. Why are they? Do they not? Are they tired of the beach, or do they realize that they might fall off there if everything keeps going the way it is? Baby boomers moving to Florida to post-retirement to one of the oldest around. But while many people from the generation have indeed retired to the Sunshine State, recent reports indicate that boomers are now abandoning Florida for an unlikely alternative. Southern Appalachia, a region including northern Georgia, the Carolinas, and portion of Tennessee and Virginia. The influx of boomers moving to Appalachia is transforming the region from poor, serene, and rustic to the bustling retirement heaven. So they're all, instead of moving to where the Hicks live in Florida, where could be the meth capital of the world, they're deciding to move to Appalachia, where is the inbred capital of the world. Interesting switch up. They're always trying to revitalize a community. That's kind of the good thing. I think we should be all enjoying what the retiring people can do. It seems like they're all just trying to run away from all the gators and pythons that do exist in Florida. They don't want to be eaten. They want to be try to enjoy their lives, which is totally fair. It's like the last leg of the journey. So why go and risk it where there's a bunch of things that could eat and kill you? Just go enjoy the mountains. Retire there. You don't have to risk falling off the side of the continent or, run into an alligator problem. I feel like they have to run into alligators quite frequently. And I think that's too big of a risk. Like alligators and pythons, like on average, how often do people run into gators and pythons in Florida? For each alligator attacks in Florida, 8 unprovoked alligator bites per year. I feel like that's better than I thought it was. For some reason, I thought it was on average a person would have an alligator encounter at least once a day, but those are bites, unprovoked alligator bites. That's actually over the past 10 years. FCC confirmed that Florida has an average 8 unprovoked alligator bites per year that are serious enough to require professional medical treatment. The likelihood of a Florida resident being seriously injured during an unprovoked alligator incident in Florida is roughly 1 in 3.1 million. Being seriously injured. Okay. What is the population of Florida? 24 million. There's a chance. Not a high chance, but there's a chance. You're most likely going to see an alligator in Florida every time you visit, and they will usually look very calm. Alligators are more aggressive, though, during mating season, seasons beginning in April, with courtship and counting is through June. It continues through June. God damn, I can't read. Do people in Florida swim in lakes with alligators? So, when did April, June? So 3 months, 1/3 of the year, we're just not going to go to Florida. It's an off limit. It's a no-go zone. Because I feel like that goes from, what, 1 in 3.1 million people get attacked by an unprovoked alligator to, I don't know, 1 in 10. That's a big jump, but I'm just kidding. 1 in 10? Not 1 in 3.4. During mating season, and they're more aggressive during courtships, so they're all in heat, because they're all like, oh, I'm like, wow. Probably shouldn't go to Florida then, at that time. And if that's the case, where you're just in danger from the animals around you, you probably should go to the mountains. Yeah, there's bears, but honestly, I feel like your chances of being attacked by a bear versus an alligator, much more slim. Not in such a dire possibility. It happens. It does happen, but per person and per alligator, the amount of people there are compared to the amount of alligators, I feel like they're more even than there are people per bears in Appalachia. Now, especially with all the retirement people moving there. They used to be. I feel like bears probably outnumber that population unless they try to. Those people can get themselves having kids fast enough. But there's not many people that lived out there. Now with the influx of retirement, all the old people are going out there. We're just like forcing them to the center of the country. Just like go out there. Interesting choice. That's all I gotta say. I don't think I would have chose to retire in Appalachia. That's just me, but I get why. It's probably a very pretty place. And the influx with them coming in definitely can help change the can change the dynamic of things. The second tallest man in the world is dominating the Paralympics. That can't be okay, right? How tall is he? It's gotta be like a cheat code. Holy fuck. The second tallest man in the world is dominating the Paralympics. The world's second tallest man parked his wheelchair at the edge of the court and climbed to his feet at Iran's national anthem began. Oh, he's from Iran. Began to play over the loudspeaker Morteza Rachel Scalacciani stood 8'1". His right hand placed over his heart, his left arm dropped around a teammate's shoulder. Jesus Christ, 8'1". When it was finally time for his team to begin Paralympic sitting volleyball. Dude, he's got that reach. If he's 8'1", what's his wingspan? Compared to every other person that he's competing against in the Paralympics, he's a full 3 feet taller than his entire team. That's true. God, he's so big. He's got that wingspan, so he's probably just sitting at the front, just knocking things down. Not worried. That's insane. Props to that guy. Just thriving. I would put my money on Iran to win the Paralympics in the sitting volleyball, that's a sport I would not be able to do well at that. I wouldn't be able to do well at that at all. I would dive around, flop on my back. I would miss the ball. I wouldn't be able to move at all. I would just try to slide or miss the ball by a hair if it was set to me. I would definitely try to stand up and pick it up and throw it. I wouldn't do well in that sport. There's no other athlete quite like I'm sorry, I'm butchering that name. Mirez Johnny in Paris for these Paralympics in his room. In his room at the athlete's village, he does not have a bed that fits his frame. That's tough. So he has to opt to sleep on the floor, according to his coach. On the court, it is nearly impossible for the opposing team to prepare for his height or counter his spikes. He rarely speaks to the media. He didn't stop to talk with reporters after his first 2 matches here and resists any spotlight as Iran chases a 3rd consecutive gold medal. For years he lived in Skalajan in the coastal city in the northern part of the country, only to become a celebrity in Iran once he found his sport. How big is sitting volleyball in Iran? If you go back to Morteza when he was 12 years old, no one had any consideration for him. His coach, Heidi's Rizgar, I'm going to butcher all these names. I am so sorry. Said through an interpreter, but when he became a sitting volleyball player, everyone all around the world know him and respect him. I believe that each person has gotten the potential in the world, and we have to discover it. That's a sweet sentiment. Even after Mircea 36 joined the national team nearly a decade ago, the Iran sitting volleyball program owned one of the foremost dynasties at the Paralympics. It has won 7 of the past 9 gold medals since 1988. That's kind of impressive. It's like U.S. in basketball, with silver medals coming in Athens in 2004 and London in 2012. Year after year, it dominates intentional competition, including 8 world championships since 1984. Sitting volleyball. Let's see if I can find a video of this guy playing. Videos. No. This is an ad. This is not the thing. It's a Walmart ad. They're getting fancy.
Men's semifinal between the Islamic Republic of Iran and Egypt. Whoever wins this match here today will be meeting Bosnia and Herzegovina in that gold medal final.
Okay, what country is this?
Starting for Iran.
Iran.
Number 2, Morteza Mersat. He has a 2-meter reach when he's out on the floor. He's going to be a huge presence.
What is 2 meters?
Lots of excitement and lots of support for sitting volleyball. This is part of the legacy of the Paralympic Games.
Jesus Christ. 6 feet. Oh my God.
Easily played up by Salehi. He seems to always be in the right place. And that allows Merzat to get a
He's so much bigger than the rest of his team. Holy crap.
Egypt struggling to get it over, but
Oh, they're going against Egypt.
just in the nick of time. That's a great pickup by Khamis. El Shriek goes for a nice soft tip, but He
23
knows
and
he
12.
can't be doing stuff like that, but he said, what can I do at this point? It's a nice swing from Abdullah, but Iran able to recover that. Egypt keeping the ball alive just long enough to pull an error from Iran. Set point for Iran, so if they win this point, this set is
Interesting.
over.
So how big is... Big.
That's a great block, great
Is
coverage by
sitting-
Salehi, and it's another point for Iran as they win
What was
set
that?
one of this.
How big is sitting volleyball? Iran. So he's just making headlines right now for being the tallest man. Because you're beating Egypt by a massive what? Oh, I don't know. They've won the first set. So what is this? Oh, they took him out.
That's a big swing from Egypt finally, but Iran are ready for it. And Egypt just cannot handle this Iranian team. Salehi with a lovely set out to the outside player.
I'm just fascinated by this now. Up, up. Oh, they slide. They're in pants too.
Egypt able to keep this alive. Oh, and it's a big block for Egypt. 90 kilometers an hour. It's absolutely unreal. These players, they obviously don't have the momentum of their legs or a jump like you would in volleyball. And for them to achieve that kind of speed,
91 kilometers. I'm just listening to the lady now giving me facts about this. 91. That's P1. 91 kilometers. So they're throwing that ball like what, 56 miles an hour, about 56.5, so about 57. I think that's not bad. It's pretty quick. It's kind of impressive. Okay, let's continue watching this real quick.
oh, and it's an
Oh.
ace for Ali Bourian.
No one helped him.
Receiver had a great pass. Nice and high, plenty of time for someone else, but Musa and Zikri just looking at each other like, boy, you gonna take that. And it's another ace for Ali Bourian. He is picking this receiving line apart. They all look
Oh, I thought he got hit.
lost. They don't know
This is
what
so
they
interesting
can do
to me.
Stop this Iranian team as they serve for set point. Lovely soft touch. Egypt able to get hands on it. Musa going for a big swing, and you can understand why, but it hits the net. And Iran easily win this second set, 25-15.
Such a weird game.
El Shweik with a big swing from the front row.
Changes lives though. Apparently it changed the second tallest man's life around. He definitely was able to make a life. People respect him, I guess. People now see him like, oh shit, you're the sitting volleyball world champion. Fuck yeah. Generative AI backlashes his annual writing events promoting resignations. Okay. So over the weekend, the nonprofit National Novel Writing Math Organization outlining its position on AI, calling categorical rejections of AI writing technology classes in absent. The statement caused a backlash online, prompted for members of the organization's board to step down. It prompted sponsor to withdraw its support. We believe that the catalog condemned AI would be ignored, classist, and absent issues surrounding the issues of the technology, and that questions around the use of AI tie to questions around privilege. Here's the thing, though. You're not going to be able to stop it. AI is going to have some kind of use and help to the next, however this plans out for the world. whatever happens, like it's going to be used as a helper tool. It should be used as a helper tool. But right now it's not. Like people are just relying on it soulfully to help create things. And because of that, you start to see problems in like creativity, and people are just relying on it and not actually putting a lot of brain power. So things are starting to get stagnant, and especially with AI, it can't be used like that. It needs to be some kind of functioning helper tool. And I get why they're gonna have this. They have this kind of stance on it, because you're taking work from other people and you're kind of using it to your own right, and you're not really creating anything at that point. You've really just allowed a robot to narrate something and that they have this kind of insight for, and have scraped everything from the internet and everything they've learned to put it into context. So it's not writing, and it's not, because it's not an original thought. And that's kind of what it's always been preached when you're a kid. It's like, find original thought, do the original thing, have your own voice. And when everybody's starting to rely on this AI, none of us have an original voice. So how do we? Why is everybody's starting to become like a helper monkey or a robot and turning off their brain? I'm guilty of it, 100% guilty of it. With all this with all this crazy technology, of course we're going to turn off our brain. We're going to let the robots do it. But the issue is, though, when that happens, we stop using our critical thinking skills. We stop analyzing everything for a potential threat. We stop doing the stuff that we, as humans, have become used to over however long we've had any of this shit. So that's kind of what we need to go at. Like, how do we readjust it and pull everybody back, so they understand that whatever this is, that's not it all, but it can't be the future. It can't be the last dual effort to become something. I don't know if it's ever gonna go back to people. It might. I think after, the only way for everybody to become a tool that is very helpful for everybody, and to do just a mundane task that nobody wants to do, so our efforts can be put to a better use. I think it's, people are starting to use it now for that, but it's not going to actually take effect until the next generation that grew up with social media and TikTok. Like the ones that are in high school and have TikTok, that's probably going to be around the time when that becomes a realization. When they become in their 30s or 40s, while the generation that's in their 20s right now becomes the ones that are overseeing the world. And we fuck up and we don't realize what we're doing. Because we're all bound to fuck up and we don't know what's going on. I think at some point, the generation that's in charge just becomes too out of touch with the world that they're in and can't make any good judgment calls. And we're not going to see anything really happen or change until the next couple of years, when people understand what it is that they're dealing with. The AI stuff in general, I was thinking about, because everything progresses in a tenfold. You start to have, once you have a base, the capability of it can get ramped up to an nth degree, because you already have all this previous study, and now you're just compounding whatever you're doing with it. And that's kind of what it is. What does worry me about all this AI stuff is because we saw the internet boom, and the world wasn't ready for it. But if we go back and look at it, and we have AI and they boom, the world's not ready for it right now. And if it is correct and advancement happens so quickly, then we might not be ready for it when it's actually time. I pounded the table. I don't know why, but it's because we're not paying attention to it. It sneaks up on people. Everybody gets so caught up in the day-to-day life that they don't realize that other things are coming, and advancement into the world is just something that happens. We can't really fight it. We just have to accept it and work with it and realize that it can't be the thing that takes over our lives. And that we still have to have our own personal distinction for who we are as people, rather than following the lines. Because what makes human is the ability to think individually, to have a critical thinking aspect. You can tell that's kind of going away with some people. because they get so caught up and reliant on the use of the internet and computers and social media and all of technology. So we're going to have hiccups. And we're going to have hiccups the entire time. That's part of life. It's part of living because people are weird and wacky and like to be dependent on things because it's easy. Easy is the death sometimes. But that's all I got for my rants today. Please, for the love of God, don't sing and dance in the middle of the gym. Just go to the corner, the Tai Chi guys. Perfectly okay. I think that's where you belong. And they'll accept you. They accept everybody. They will teach you Tai Chi if you want to know it. They're not haters. They love people. Just go in the corner. I don't want to. That's the last one. I don't want to bob and weave around you. It's not dodgeball. I'm not trying to win gold medal or be a badass. Just go in the corner. And you can rap about whatever you want and sing Taylor Swift and Mariah Carey. Like, the world, your little life depends on it. Just go away. Go away. All right.